My job is to influence people. So at my executive leadership meetings, I take the product top 10 and say, here's $10 million in customer revenue that you can affect by fixing this one problem.
Hello, my customer success friends. 𝘧𝘪𝘱𝘦𝘳𝘪𝘦𝘥 here for CSM Practice, the customer success consulting firm. Today I have with me Paul Piazza. He's the VP of Customer Success at
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity. I'm really excited to have him on the show. So first and foremost, tell me, like, in general, when you do the churn analysis, before we break it down on the how, what are the kind of things, why do you do this? What are the benefits that you get from doing these churn analysis reviews?
Yeah, so looking at churn analysis actually is in several folds, helping my organization understand why customers are leaving us, being able to help my CSMs engage with customers better. More importantly, something that I've done just recently around churn analysis is actually taking the churn or saved customers, the flip side of churn, the customers we save, and tying that ROI back to the product team. Say product comes in and solves a problem where we know a customer's at risk, and I can bring that ROI back. But also what it does is help build credibility throughout the organization.
Well, just as an argument, sometimes when I talk to other customer success leaders, they say, well, we talk to customers all the time. We know why they leave.
And I would say quantify it, right? So it comes down, you can say, I know why they leave, but you have to go back and be able to quantify it. So one of the methodologies I use is called the product top 10.
Product top 10?
Yeah. But essentially what you're doing is you're doing a force ranking across your customer base, and there's a process and a methodology to it. And then out of that force ranking, you go back and have your CSMs tie revenue to it. And what inevitably happens is you have your CSMs force ranking, then you have the revenue and number of customers ranking. They never match.
Okay, so you start with, so basically you do the churn analysis so that you can quantify in dollar terms what would be the influence of a certain fix or a certain initiative in making something better on the retention numbers.
Yeah.
And you can't do that without the churn analysis. So it's not about, sounds like it's not about just discovering why customers churn, but being able to identify the top 10 reasons.
Look at the trends, right? It's all about the trend analysis to do that.
Okay, so let's walk me through that process.
So what we do is we initially start with data of one form or another, and we'll look at the data, and we'll take customers, of course, by CSMs, as you said, right? CSMs feel they know, and they do know, right? So I take two separately. First, you want the sentiment. So I look at my customer and my CS team sentiment. My CSMs get in a room, and they literally whiteboard all their different reasons. Everybody puts their reasons why customers are leaving.
Right. Okay.
Right. So we do the big whiteboard session, which is actually a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that. Then I let them debate what's up on the board. You guys debate and come back to me what the top 10
What the top 10 reasons for churn.
What they feel emotionally these reasons are. And if I have the data, I can go back and support. And I ask them to try to support it with data and with areas they have. What are those trends they see, right? So sitting back and listening to it, I'm listening to those trends, right? So you're hearing what they're saying.
So you discovered the top 10 reasons.
Yeah, it's a big meeting. It's a lot of fun, big debate.
And then you associate the dollars.
Yep. So
like how many accounts?
The first, we have the 10. So we come up with 10 reasons.
Okay.
And then I say, okay, now I want each of you to go back and tie how many customers relate to each of these.
Numbers of logos.
Logos, actual logo names. And then stop there, send it to me. We do this all on a big spreadsheet. And I get this big Uber spreadsheet.
Right.
Everybody has their own sheet.
Because if you have 50 CSMs, you would send all these 10 reasons and say, okay, out of everybody all the customers that have left, how many fall into, can a same account be associated with multiple churn reasons?
Yes, of course.
Do you limit how many?
No, I don't. I try not to, right?
Okay.
So I let it, it's all about, to me, it's all about the revenue. The revenue is the message, revenue and number of customers. Okay. And then you take that, and they don't see the revenue, right? They're just doing logos.
Right.
It's my job to tie the revenue, and that's where one of the CS tools comes in handy.
So you got all the reasons, and then you tie which logos, and some logos might appear in multiple ones, and then you associate the dollar amount of each customer, and you aggregate it. So the total aggregated churn amount associated is greater sometimes within the actual churn because it can be associated with multiple categories. Okay, you're done with that. You show it to the product team. What else do you do then? Okay, you got it.
So now that
you can prioritize.
Now they go back and prioritize it, right? So then hopefully, like at my company, they actually went back and fixed 2 of the big features. They actually did a roadshow around one of the big ones, which was like a big bear of a product feature. They're like, all right, we're going to do this. We need to talk to customers about what they want. And they got engaged, right? They took the data and they did something with it. We saw, and this was a pretty amount, I won't go into the amount of risk it was, but it was a significant amount of risk in Q3 and Q4 this year for me that we mitigated. Every one of those customers has renewed, and that was the beauty of it. They went on a roadshow and they talked to them and said, listen, we see, we understand it, and the CSMs got them engaged. So talk about binding a company, right? You're binding your CSM product team.
Okay, so I have a question.
Sure.
So when the CSMs identified the top 10 churn reasons, when they went in and associated logos, it wasn't logos of already churned customers, it was logos of existing customers that might be at risk because of those reasons.
Yeah, now I tie churn in separately, right? Because I want to say, what did we lost to it? And usually that equates really well with the revenue, right? Because that, from my
that's how you prioritize, but then you say, okay, step 2
is how many have we lost?
The risk.
Yeah. So step 1 is risk. Step 2 is would we lose due to this, right? Because I always like to say, I'm a forward thinker, so I'm always okay. What is that risk that we can mitigate based on dollar in this, and then how does that correlate back to the trends to what's left? And the correlation, I've never had it be off by like less than 5%. Really, it's usually really highly correlated. You know, and honestly, it shows. And I hate to say this to all the CSMs in the world, but it does show that. I've never had it where the top 1. In fact, our top number 10 in the CS Sentiment was number 1 in revenue.
Oh wow!
This quarter, right? I do it every quarter, and so it was. And last quarter was number 5 was number 1, and number 1 usually ranks in the bottom third. It's
so
just
when
how
you
it's
say
done.
in sentiment, what do you mean?
So the first score is the top 10 ranking by sentiment. Right, so I do score that, right? What did the team feel was the biggest feature? Right? That's the sentiment, right? And then the revenue and number of customers are the metric, right? So, and it's never correlated. It never has, and I've been doing this for about 5 years.
Hope this gives you some food for thought and things that you can do at your next quarter to see what else you can do to save customers and get better at customer success. And if you want some real in-depth analysis of your churn, we at CSM Practice do statistical analysis on your churn data to give you the actual accurate number of how much each key factor in the decision of churning or retention is on different aspects of your business and stages and processes with your clients. So ask me about our churn analysis processes if you're interested, and I'll see you at the next video.